Hi guys, in today's video I'll be talking about what's coming next for Humankind and breaking down really the season tracker that they have set up for everyone to view and talking about the individual features listed on the tracker and what we can really expect from the developers over at Amplitude. Since the last DLC was fairly successful and we saw about an increase of 1,000 players, which relatively speaking is about 30% increase to the total player number for Humankind, I would say that a planner to get some of the fans hyped up and excited for new content was well overdue, since this is the first time we've kind of seen something this big and relevant. And first of all, I just want to list the improvements and kind of go off of them as I talk about them. We have war support, multiplayer hot join fixes, immersive empire names, UI notification options, game stability, AI improvements, affinity balancing, and siege and sortie rules. For the new content, we of course have new cultures, new wonders, new languages support, new challenges, official mods, and more. Honestly, when it comes to improvements, I'm probably the most excited about immersive empire names. The devs say they're going to try to make immersive empire names and empire names just more adaptive to players. So instead of like the French Empire or the Swahili Republic, you're going to have probably like a cultural fusion for the names. I don't know how they're going to do that. There's going to be a lot of variety, but perhaps instead of being the English Empire, if you have maybe like a Republican bias where you're more focused towards liberty instead of authoritarianism, you might be known as something like the Anglican First Republic or something unique like that instead of the English Empire. So I don't know how they're going to go about that exactly. They haven't really listed examples, but it seems to be fairly promising. They have been kind of hyping this up, so I'm just really excited and I have high expectations for whatever they have planned. Now, another thing I am excited for is the affinity balancing. I have made it very clear that I just am not a fan of what they've done so far, especially with some of the buffs for lackluster cultures, like the Phoenicians. I think there have been like long overdue nerfs for a lot of the cultures that kind of lean on the science and builder side. Specifically, science and builder modes are just way too much. Being able to generate a ton of science and production so early on is just monumental, and it really breaks the game. It just makes it way too easy to steamroll over opponents. And I think just production is tied to too many things. I also am just excited for siege and sortie rules. I want to see how they kind of plan to carry that forward. But for the new content, there is a lot I'm excited about when it comes to new cultures. Not so much new wonders and language support. I don't really speak anything other than English at the moment, so not too hyped for that. And then the official mod, I don't necessarily agree with that because I don't think they should be putting their workforce capacity towards other things like mods, but I guess that's how they kind of plan to carry things out. Now, for new cultures, I really have to make the, I guess, not so controversial opinion known that I don't support what they've done so far with the DLC. I mean, I do support paying the devs to kind of continue the game, but I don't support releasing DLC kind of 6 months past the game's release when there wasn't that much support anyway, aside from like very minor balance changes and a ton of bug fixes. The game was released far too early, but I just think they should have just gone in swinging, do or die with a big expansion, first of all, to kind of revive hype for the game. I've talked about this in another video you can check out, but I feel that with the player numbers dropping like 96%, this game needs some kind of resuscitation because it feels like it's in cardiac arrest at the moment because player numbers are just sinking, and the Africa DLC didn't really pump them up too much comparatively because this game started with 55,000 and now they're back up to 3,500. So just kind of gives you a retrospective on how much the player numbers have dropped. Anyhow, I am excited for new cultures. I hope we get some kind of pack with new lesser known cultures like the Gauls, maybe as a builder. We could get the Majapahit as some kind of aesthete focus, just kind of giving examples here. Maybe Polynesians in the medieval era with an expansionist focus, try to spice things up. I thought that the Africa Culture Pact was a good first step, but some of the later era cultures like the Nigerians, I feel, and the Ethiopians just needed a bit more oomph. I felt, I felt a lot, but I really believe that there is a lot of interesting things to do in the early eras like the ancient, classical, and medieval, but as soon as you get into that late game, the energy for Humankind really kind of peters out, and I feel that's due to some of the lackluster and fleshed out, I guess you could say, mechanics, kind of like religion, trading, diplomacy, and all of that stuff. And I really feel that more focus on developing those assets and features of Humankind for like a few more months instead of going forward with the release date could have helped a lot. I know people wanted to get the game out, but I feel that that was not necessarily the right decision, and it feels really rushed. So that is kind of my opinion, and I have a few controversial opinions scattered throughout the video, but I hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, I am doing a Let's Play that you can see on the screen at the moment with all of the Africa DLC cultures, all of the Africa DLC cultures only, I should say. And if you want to check that out, it's pretty fun. We get into a massive war with our neighbors, the Nubians and the Persians. So pretty fun. If you want to check that out again, I'll leave a link in the top right hand of the corner. Otherwise, I love you guys. I hope to see you guys later. And this is it for the Humankind coverage so far. So if you have any cultures, I guess, make sure to leave what cultures you want to see included in the comment section below. Otherwise, love you guys again, and I hope to see you guys later. All right, peace.